I want to, before I start sketching birds again and creatures, insect, fish, animals, we call them. I want to sketch a picture real quick. Sketch a real quick sketch. Real quick sketch. The last sketch we did was the dove. I talked about it, I said some things about the dove. You know that the dove has a rainbow, the color of a rainbow on its neck. It's gray, grayish pink. If you take a sky, a gray sky, you got a rainbow, a gray sky in a rainbow, and it's pinkish sunlight. It's a promise. There's a promise to us. It's telling us there's a promise. It promises something. Okay, the rainbow. We know what a rainbow symbolizes, right? In the biblical, it promises something, right? And I sketched something. I'll tell you what this is. I'll tell you what this sketch is. Before I do that, though, I was looking at my looking here at my herb book, plants, and I was talking about roots. I was talking about, what roots, roots, eating the roots and stuff. I told him, I said, anytime you start messing with roots of plants, you start hybridizing the plant, biochemistry, whatever you want to say about it, genetics. The root, even a natural plant, I say to them, I don't eat the plant. I don't eat the root that much. I don't eat the roots. I know the stinging nettle, you can harvest it. Mostly when you harvest roots, you harvest them in the fall, in the cold months rather, when the plant has withered and dried. And then you can dig that root up, grind it up and so forth, and get your starch and stuff. Your certain medicines and stuff, medicinal values. But I tell you, if you just eat the plant alone, you don't have to do that. Now, peanuts, that's why, you heard of that. You heard of people being allergic to peanuts. And people had died from peanuts, man. Had died from peanuts. And potato is a hybrid too. It's been tampered with. It's a roots, different roots. Peru and so forth. You have potatoes. Anytime you start dealing with beans and potatoes, and you're coming up peas, you're coming up with these roots, and you come into some of these peanuts. well, even when I'm out foraging, I'm looking at the book and looking at this book here. I don't pay attention to the root. Now, if I'm getting stinging nettles and saying like somebody's got prostate, something wrong with their prostate and stuff, and it got to the point to where they need some kind of help. Yeah, you can take the root of a stinging nettle, and eat it, grind it up in the fall, when in cold months. People do that, There's a lot of naturals people that do that. I don't tamper with them too much, but I do dig them up in the winter, in the cold months, fall, when the leaves have fallen off the trees and everything. You can go through there and find the stem, find the stalk. You know it is. If you can tell that it's a stinging nettle stalk. Dig it up. Dig the root up, Put it in your tea, make tea. But roots, you don't want to tamper with them. Only when the plant is in its fullness and have died and withered, then you can. And when you start tampering with plants, mixing them and stuff, making your own plants, dealing with nature, the root, I think the root, it becomes more toxic, or more. People get allergies. You get allergy from messing with plants anyway. That's where allergy comes from. Allergy comes from messing with, or discriminating against the natural plants. That means you don't tamper with them at all, and so people are born with allergies. Why? Because we have tampered with nature. I drew a line like this at first. And I imagined this being a plane, being like a flat surface of a ground, and this is sky, and I pushed through it. Like that. I pushed through it. And you would say, well, it's like a mountain, isn't it? It's like a mountain. From the ground, from the bottom into the ground, I pushed through it like that. That's what I did. I pushed through that. And I made some circles like they're clouds as I'm top of the page, going down towards the bottom of the page, towards the line. I make them smaller because they look farther away. And I make them thicker, make the line thicker as towards the top of the page because it looks like they're closer, see? And then as I'm getting farther away, I'm using this magic marker just to show you, so you can see better. And then as I get farther away, maybe I use my ink pen. I messed up. Use my ink pen and make them smaller in thinner lines, because they're farther away, right? And then I made little light lines like that, going up like that, see? Like that. And what I did, I pushed through there. I pushed through the line. I pushed through the line. I bust through the line. I bust out of the ground and went upward towards the sky. And I pushed through. Now it's shaped like a triangle, right? It's shaped like a triangle because it's pushing up. And it makes a point shape. And it makes a point to where I bust through the ozone layer. But I bust through it. And when I bust through it, automatically what's behind the ozone layer, or what's behind the sky, or in front of the sky, busts through. It sinks in. This, if you want to say mountain, or this flow that these lines that I made, it busts and it goes inward and goes in there. It goes inside, like this. Goes inside like this. Goes inside. Goes inside like that. Inside. All the way down to the ground like this, man. All the way down to the ground. In the ground. And through the ground. That's what I'm doing. I'm meeting it. Meeting. We're busting. I'm going in. It's going in. Going in. Like that. And it's going in and goes through. I want to bust through, see? And it wants to bust through. It wants to bust in. Yeah. One thing, see? You see it like that. It's just like a wave. Like a big inner wave like that. See that? You see that, man? You see it? You see that? That's how you do that. Let's make this design like that. See that? It's just taking a shape. Taking a shape. That's why if you can see it, see, I don't know if you can see it, little glare, you can see that, see, you can see that, busting through there, yeah, and so, that's, and maybe I'll sketch something. A fish. A fish or something. Not a fish. Another bird. And I think about what I want to sketch. But I want to sketch that real quick. Just real quick. Okay? Just real quick.